Good to see you again. Welcome to the Harvest Dinner. Here's your table assignment. Stacy can get you a drink at the bar. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Stacy Camp. I'm the events manager here at the Marin Art and Garden Center, where every year we have our annual Harvest Dinner at this time, but there's nobody here. So we're coming to you virtually, and that doesn't mean that you have to miss out on my famous botanical cocktails. Each year I make a themed botanical cocktail, and this year I'm theming it after our board president, Diane Duda, and I'm calling it the Double D. So it's a nice bourbon drink with a lot of lemon. And here's to you, Diane. Now let's get on with the program.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Marin Art and Garden Center's virtual Harvest Dinner fundraiser. Now, I know that we would usually be celebrating this event out on the lawns by the Livermore Pavilion, surrounded by twinkle lights, while sitting under the oak trees. And we really are thankful for you joining us tonight, especially on a day that makes all of us, wherever you are in the Bay Area, appreciate a beautiful evening in the Marin Art and Garden Center all the more. And though we can't be gathered together this evening, we have a really exciting show lined up tonight, so I hope you have poured yourself a glass of something special, like one of Stacy's Double D cocktails, and you're ready to have some fun. And as socially distant as we might be, this is still going to be an interactive affair. So before we start the program in earnest, I want to make sure that you are all logged in and ready to roll. So get out your phone or grab your spare tablet, log on to maringarden.org/give. Again, that's maringarden.org/give. Make sure that you are ready to go, because we are here to celebrate Marin Art and Garden Center and the important role that it has played in the community for the last 75 years, and the role that you, the community, have played in helping keep it alive. But what better way to get things started than to have Diane Duda, the president of the Marin Art and Garden Center board, help us kick things off. So let's bring Diane in. Diane?
Hi, Greg. It is absolutely wonderful to be here this evening in this very unusual format. Although we can't all be together in person tonight, I am so excited that we are able to continue the tradition of the Harvest Dinner this year.
I'm right there with you, Diane. Thanks for being with us. And for all of you watching at home, look, we want you to know that we made a conscious choice tonight. We opted to do this live instead of pre-recording everything, because we really, really want to be able to see Diane's reactions to everything we have in store for her. And we've got some good stuff in store for her. So you're going to notice delays. This is live theater. We really wanted all of us to be able to be here and experience it together. So that said, Diane, you've been president of the board for 10 years. Can you tell us all a little bit about what makes the Marin Art and Garden Center so special for you?
Greg, everything about magic is special to me. I'm drawn to places that have a story to tell. They have a history and the capacity to make a difference in people's lives. It also helps if along the way the place embodies celebration and joy. 14 years ago, I discovered that the Marin Art and Garden Center was one of those places. So when my good friend Mary Poland later asked me to join the board, I said yes. And then I learned that the center was at a tipping point. Well, I like challenges. And there was one right in my backyard, a little place with huge capacity, teetering on the edge of oblivion. By then, I was enthralled by the revelation that what had begun as one exceptional woman's vision of preservation had evolved into so very much more. I had learned that the magic story is a story set in wartime when our country was riddled with fear and uncertainty. Sounds a little like today. A story of an exceptional woman who had a vision and executed on it. A story about leadership and what it means to lead. A story about building community and providing space for activities that can enrich the lives of people of all ages. Greg, it's about families and celebration, about beauty and the arts and the environment. It's about learning and growing and making the world a better place. So Greg, the Marin Art and Garden Center is special to me because of all that it has done for the community and all that it is doing right now in the midst of COVID-19 to provide a beautiful place for people to come together with the proper social distancing, of course, and all it can do as we emerge from this present time of the pandemic.
That's great, Diane. I appreciate you being here with us and sharing all of that with us. And I think it's a wonderful way to kick things off. And as you know, we're not just here to celebrate the center and how special it is, but to celebrate you. And I think now, Diane, is as good a time as any to kick that off. We have some friends who wanted to tell you themselves what you've meant to this community. Let's all take a look.
Hi, Diane. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Koblick. Diane and I met about 40 years ago, thanks to the legendary Bonifacio Iturbide. And I've watched you, Diane, over 40 years now, do so much for your family, for your friends, for the community, and just such a wonderful person, intelligent, smart. You've done great things for the Mill Valley Film Festival, the Marin General Hospital, and here at the Marin Art and Garden Center, which speaks for itself. And really, I have one story that really sums up the epitome of Diane Duda, and that was during the Warriors' run for the playoffs in 2015, the first one, when we were all so excited. And Frank was actually on his deathbed with cancer at that point. And I came over to watch the game with you and Terry, who was taking such good care of him. And the game was an exciting game, and the Warriors were winning, and we were cheering. And Frank was pretty close to comatose at the beginning. But by the end of the game, his eyes opened, and you and Terry were high-fiving him and looking into his eyes, and with such love. And there's so much happiness and joy among your family. And it really epitomized you, Diane, the great cheerleader, a great lover of your family and friends. And thank you for all you've done.
Hi, I'm Katie Hurtcorn. I'm a Ross resident, and I worked with Diane both on a personal level and with her involvement in magic. We belong to a book club together, and that's how we first met, so a longtime personal friend. Then when I was on Ross Council from 2012 to 2016, I was the representative from the Council for Magic. I know that Diane saved magic. When in 2012 it was a very precarious financial situation, she had such a strong belief, and she was such an advocate for magic that she made magic happen. There aren't many people that would have had her strength, her energy, and her power to do that. And so, Diane, I salute you for what you have accomplished. And the town and everybody that enjoys magic has you to thank for it. And so I thank you as well.
Hello, I'm Maria Pitcairn.
Hello, and I'm Robert Beadle, one of the trustees of the Marin Art and Garden Center.
And we're here to say, Diane, this is such a treat. We were thrilled to be able to say to you all the things we appreciate about what you've done for the Marin Art and Garden Center. And it's not just the property and the beauty, which is incredible right now, but it's how you brought our community together, not just the community surrounding these gardens. People from Sausalito to Novato and people from San Francisco are all coming, were, let's say, to the concerts. And I was so especially pleased. Robert and I went, I think, to every concert that
we did
for the last 2 years, and we certainly missed them this year.
And in fact, with the summer concerts, that's what rekindled my my desire to be at the Marin Art and Garden Center and my interest in the Marin Art and Garden Center, which ultimately led to my nomination to be a trustee of this wonderful 11-acre park. So without the summer concerts, that wouldn't have happened. And so I just want to applaud you again for perpetuating them, to starting them, and keeping them going.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
Good evening. My name is Elika. That we are gathering here tonight is indeed a tribute to you, Diane. When you took over as president in 2009, Magic was comprised of a group of competing entities sharing one facility. You used to call it herding cats. Magic was teetering on insolvency, and the board even had to consider closing down entirely. It needed leadership with a vision, and for everyone to coalesce into a single greater unit. And most significantly, it needed financial stability. Diane, you have so much to be proud of, but most of all, you have accomplished these goals at the helm of Magic. So, I present to you a professional cat herder's badge, hopefully no scratches.
Hi everybody, I'm Huey Lewis, and I just want to add my voice of congratulations to Diane Duda, my former neighbor. We were neighbors for, I don't know, maybe 13 years or something, and I know about all the great things Diane's done with the center and basically saving the center, and what a wonderful job she's done. And I know you guys all know that. And I'm not surprised, because she was a great neighbor and always cared deeply about the community. This is what a great community neighbor looks like. Everyone should be as lucky as me and have Diane Duda as a neighbor. Diane, congratulations. Have fun.
God, it was Huey Lewis, Diane.
Yep. Greg, I'm absolutely speechless and a little teary, so we'll try not to run the makeup. But as my friends and colleagues know, I'm not very often speechless, so take and enjoy this moment. I'm truly grateful to have been chosen for this honor, and I want to say that everyone who was involved in making this happen, thank you so much. You know, Greg, the center means so much to me. And a wonderful way for my friends and everyone out there watching to say thank you would be to generously support the center this evening. It would mean a lot to us. So let's all join together and keep Marin Art and Garden Center thriving for another 75 years. Thank you for the beautiful tribute.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Diane. Thank you. And for everybody watching, that we sprung that on Diane. She hadn't seen that tribute before, so thank you. And we've got more coming up. Diane, we're going to see you later in the show. I know you're at a friend's house, having dinner, enjoying the show as a group. So how about you go have one of those double D cocktails in your namesake, and just remember to come back when we get to the end of the show.
Okay, Greg, I promise.
We'll see you in a little bit. Now, let's keep the show going. I'm going to bring out another special guest and member of the board. Let's get Tom Perry on out here. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Greg. Hi, everybody. What a fabulous night this is, huh, Greg?
Right. Absolutely, Tom.
Before we got too far into this, Greg, I wanted to take a moment and thank some of our sponsors. I'd particularly like to thank Heidi Kraling and Enchiladas Restaurant for providing our delicious dinners tonight. And a special thank you goes out to all our family and business sponsors, especially Shinology Car Wash and our 75th anniversary family sponsors, Phoebe Coles and Cynthia and Dick Livermore. Without all of your support, this event would not have been possible.
Absolutely true. And this event really is about capturing that spirit of generosity. So, Tom, can you maybe tell us a little bit about why this fundraiser is so important to the center?
Well, as you all know, the Marin Art and Garden Center is run by a not-for-profit corporation and is solely dependent on the generosity of our supporters like you. We do not receive any tax money from the town of Ross or the county of Marin, and so we rely on you to help maintain our beautiful facilities so that we can continue to celebrate the performing and visual arts, love of nature, and the exploration of conservation and the environment. You know, we've been part of this community for 75 years, and I know that many of you watching tonight have celebrated and shared moments big and small here during that time. This has been a challenging year for the center, but we are excited to keep moving forward. In fact, during these difficult times, I think having a peaceful place like the Marin Art and Garden Center is even more important to our community than ever. And if you haven't been by the gardens lately, they are looking incredible, aren't they, Greg?
They really are. And they truly have been there for everyone who has needed an outdoor refuge for the last 75 years, or even the last 75 days especially. And in just a few moments, you watching at home, right now are going to have the opportunity to make a difference for the center, and we're going to do it simply by making pledges. And we have giving levels for all capacities, 5,000, 2,500, 1,000 on down. Every pledge you make is going to make a difference for the center. For example, $5,000 could underwrite the cost of mounting and opening an art exhibition in the studio. So make sure you are logged in to maringarden.org/give. Find the pledge level that works for you and get ready to go. Your support helps keep the Marin Art and Garden Center alive, doesn't it, Tom?
It really does, Greg, and we are so grateful to everybody who's logged on tonight. We're lucky to have a community of friends who believe strongly in what the center is and can be. This includes some highly respected professionals who have stepped in to help guide our work. Two of those people are the head of our Horticultural Advisory Committee, Dick Turner, and guest curator Kate Eilertson, who has helped us bring in so many wonderful art exhibitions in the last few years. They wanted to tell you themselves why they believe so strongly in what we are doing here.
My name is Richard Turner. I am a landscape designer and educator. For the last 15 years of my career, I was the editor of Pacific Horticulture Magazine, which is one of the top garden magazines in the country. At the request of Antonia Desio, the executive director, I have been serving as the chair of the Horticultural Advisory Committee here at Marin Art and Garden Center. One of my favorite gardens in the Bay Area. And I was able to bring together quite a distinguished group of professionals in the field of landscape design and horticulture and botany to help the gardens improve. I think about Marin County in particular, where we are now, probably the greenest and lushest of the counties around the greater Bay Area. And yet, even in a county like that, the Marin Art and Garden Center is, to my mind, an oasis. It's a peaceful retreat. You step off of Sir Francis Drake Boulevard into the garden, into this wonderful garden, through a canopy of trees into an open, sunny area with trees and shrubs and flowers and all kinds of pollinating insects and bird life all around. And you just can't possibly be anything but at ease with the world. It's a wonderful place to be, and it needs our support to make sure that it continues for future generations of residents of Marin County and beyond. Marin County doesn't have a botanical garden like many of the other counties around the Bay do, and I think that's one of the roles that the Marin Art and Garden Center can play as a botanical garden, as a demonstration of what people can use in their own gardens, ideas for design of their gardens, suggestions on what to plant to attract wildlife, attract pollinators, to make the world around us a better place.
My name is Kate Eilertson, and I'm the guest curator with the Marin Art and Garden Center. I have the great job of finding artists that we can present at the Marin Art and Garden Center. The space itself provides high ceilings, good lighting, and a place to show larger works. It's not that easy to show works of that scale. You know, I believe that nature has been in the inspiration of so many artists throughout history. And the fact that they can show their work here on the beautiful setting at the Marin Art and Garden Center is an opportunity not only for the center, but also for these artists. All of them tell me what an inspiration nature is for them, and the beautiful things that they see in nature that most people can't see and can see when they see the art that's here at the center. You know, arts organizations these days, just like garden centers like the Marin Art and Garden Center, are just having such a hard time keeping the doors open. So I beg anybody that is able to come inside to the gallery here, walk around the nature, I beg you to please support in any way that you can an organization like the Marin Art and Garden Center.
Such important messages for all of us to hear tonight. And as Tom and Dick and Kate have all pointed out, the Marin Art and Garden Center has meant many things to many people over the years. So let's take a look at what one more person, what someone close to the center has to say about what the center has meant to him.
My name is Edison Lewis. I've been on the board of the Marin Art and Garden Center for 11 years, and I was vice president for 3 years during that time. My history with the Marin Art and Garden Center goes way back before I was born. My mom played here on the grounds of the Kittle property in the 1920s. My family moved back here to Ross in 1956, and the county fair was going on. I always had fun at the county fair. My friends were here, and I particularly enjoyed the exhibits and the art and the landscaping exhibits that were here. The center is a jewel in our community. It is worth supporting for all of us to support. It is a link to the past, and it is a path to the future. I hope you will join me in supporting the Marin Art and Garden Center. It is eminently worthy of your support and the support of all of Ross Valley and Marin County. It is for the benefit of our generation and our children's generation and their children's generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. We appreciate you taking the time to share your story with us, and especially appreciate your perspective. A jewel in the community, a storied history, eminently worthy of your support. And Tom, now's the time, right? Everyone else, the time is now. This is your chance to step up and make a difference for the Marin Art and Garden Center. And the way that you're going to do that, it's really simple. Just by making pledges. You can see we've got the pledge board up and ready to go. Every pledge you make is going to go directly to supporting the magic of the center. And to help kick this off, we've got one fun surprise. As an extra incentive, as if the center weren't enough, as an extra incentive to open your wallet, Shinology Car Wash is generously offered to give a free car wash to everyone, every single person who gives this evening. And if there's two things we've learned today, it's one, how magical the Marin Art and Garden Center truly can be on a sunny afternoon. And two, if you parked your car outside today, it needs a car wash. So if you donate or make a pledge this evening, we will be sending you a card for a free car wash at any of Shinology's car wash locations in Marin. That's a lot of locations, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, sure are. And we are very thankful for the generous support that Shinology Care Wash is giving us on this.
And we've already got some incredibly generous donations coming in. The pledge thermometer is already up to $13,000. We have Pamela Scherer kicked us off at $5,000. John Cahill pledged $1,000. Gina Marhamstra and Marin Convention. Cynthia and Dick Livermore pledged $7,500. Some of our main sponsors this evening coming in as well. And remember, every pledge, Chris Larson and Lena Lamb pledged $5,000. $5,000 underwrites the cost of mounting and opening an art exhibition in the studio. And every pledge, every level makes a big difference. Remember, $1,000 purchases plants for one of our signature display gardens. Jeff and Phyllis Koblick pledged $500. And $1,000 purchases plants for one of our signature display gardens. $500 buys a set of gardening tools for the volunteers, all the volunteers who come. And Tom, you see them all the time. The volunteers come, they spend their time out in the gardens, helping keep the gardens going. It really is a community effort.
You know, these beautiful gardens don't maintain themselves. And we have a dedicated staff, but we really rely on volunteer effort and also financial contribution to help keep the gardens look as nice as they do and offer a sanctuary and a place for celebration for all of our community. So we're very grateful for your support.
Andrew and Stephanie Evans pledged $1,000. Ann Golson pledged $500. Gina Mar Hemstra, Marin Convention and Visitors Bureau. They have so much information packed in there. We're going to have to wait until it scrolls along the bottom of the screen to see what the pledge level was. But we appreciate you making your pledge of $50 every pledge, $100 every $100 we raise tonight. Thank you, Naomi Raymond. Thank you, Barbara and Tom Gaffney. Every $100 provides masks and hand sanitizer to keep visitors safe so people can continue to come and appreciate the center in this time. And look, if there is ever a time that we need a place like the center to go to, I think it's been the last 6 months, right?
That's right. That's right. You know, Greg, I personally have very deep roots in this property. My great-great-grandparents built the first house on it way back in the 1860s.
Wow.
And so having known that it came so close to going in a different direction, we are so grateful for people's support and the community participation that we get. There are so many of us who have been to weddings and celebrations here and parties, and heck, my first job was setting up chairs for the Northgate Ladies Luncheon way back in the 1960s. Seems like the 1860s. But many of us have fond memories of magic, and if any of you share any of those memories as I do, we sure would love to have your show of support.
Aaron Earls just showed some support at $250, and we've had a whole bunch of pledges coming in at $1,000, and when the scroll gets to them, we'll appreciate them. Janet O'Connor's in for $100. We appreciate you, Janet. Remember, $500 buys gardening tools. $2,500 covers the care of the lawns for an entire month. And that's a lot of lawn to take care of. 11 acres of beautiful property, all waiting for everyone to be able to enjoy. Jessica Fairchild and Kai Brahms pledged $250. Naomi Raymond pledged $100. And part of the challenge, Lisa C. Doran is in for $250. And last year, the volunteers, we had over 750 hours from the volunteers working out in the garden. And there, you mentioned working your first job there. June Sullivan in for $250. We had 65 weddings on the grounds last year alone. 65 weddings. Truly impressive use of the grounds. We're currently at 32,000 people. Keep those pledges coming. Keep those pledges coming. We planted 8,000 new plants last year. And I think after today, we know we're going to need to plant some more to keep things going healthy and giving. Kate Rowe in for $1,500. Proving that if there's a level that you don't like, you see a level and you want to pledge your own, go ahead, make it up. We appreciate every single pledge that's made. Every single pledge makes a difference for the Marin Art and Garden Center. And last year, over 1,800 people, Margaret S. Pogue in for $1,000. Last year, 1,800 people attended programs and events at the center, like the concert series. Michael Del Balso in for $1,000. Keep those pledges coming. Keep those pledges coming. So what were some of the concerts that took place last year, Tom? Kimberly Keckheffer in for $500. Chris Larson and Lena Lamb in for $5,000. Jeff and Phil Jeff, $500. Go ahead, Tom. I'll talk all night if you let me.
I know. I can tell you're a self-starter. Our concert series is such an important part of the programs that we offer. Unfortunately, circumstances prevented that this year, but you know, we often think that we have an open door policy at the Art and Garden Center, and people are welcome to come in and stroll the grounds and participate in our programs. And we often think if we just had a nickel for every time somebody took a stroll in the garden, we would be self-sustaining. So it doesn't really matter the size of your contribution. It matters that you support our efforts and show that. So we're so grateful for anything you feel you can do, and we hope you join us.
Lisa and Wendell Nicholas in for $50. And like we said at the top, every pledge you make is going to get you a car wash Shinology. So thank you, Shinology. And I think we all love Shinology, but we can say, hey, let's make them pay a little bit. Marilee Labarth in for $40. Keep those pledges coming. Last year, and also we talk about a lot of the ways that the grounds get used. Last year, 350 students participated in educational programs on the grounds as well. So just proving that the Marin Art and Garden Center isn't just for one group of people, it's for everybody. everybody in Marin. Misty Gibbs in for $100. Keep those pledges coming. There were a bunch of $1,000 pledges, and I know that we were there. We're at $37,000, and we appreciate every pledge. Every pledge makes a difference. And remember, if you want to go, Nina and John Gladish in for $500. Keep those pledges coming. We appreciate everyone tonight. Keep those pledges coming. We're currently at 38,000. The question is can we get it over 40,000 in the next couple of minutes while Tom and I keep talking here and going back and forth. Now, we were going to have Tom in front of a green screen of all the gardens, but we figured, you know what? The gardens are so pretty. It's better that you get out there and see them yourselves. Pamela Scott in for $4,000. She says 40. I can get you to 42. Fantastic, Pamela. We appreciate the pledge. And remember, every pledge, $250, adds spring bulbs to the entry garden. So as you walk in, you pledge $250 right now. You'll know that you gave enough money. Next spring, when you walk in, those bulbs, you'll have had a heart of Petronella Treadwell in for $200. That's close. Add it with the 50 from the Marin Convention Center, and bam, we got the spring bulbs one time. But hey, we want to plant more. So keep the pledges coming. Keep the pledges coming. And Tom, anything else that you want to share about, like, what makes the Art and Garden Center so special to you?
Well, you know, it is a historic garden. The famous iconic magnolia tree purportedly was planted in the 1860s by my great-great-grandfather, and that anchors a landscape that has real historic value to the community. But we also, under the directorship of Stephen Schwager, our garden director, he has really sought to turn it into an aspect of demonstration garden, showing landscape uses that are practical in Marin County. And as we all know, there are changes in the climate, and different plants do well now that didn't used to do before. And so it's a great way to come in and get ideas for your own garden. I used to sell dirt for a living way back at Sunnyside Nursery. So I know that there are a lot of avid garden fans and people who are very much attached to the grounds at the Art and Garden Center. And as I say, we count on all of your support to maintain them, to keep them looking beautiful, and allow them to be open for everybody to enjoy.
And Richard George Turner, we enjoy your $500 pledge. Thank you, sir. Keep those pledges coming, everybody. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep the pledge open. So if you haven't already, go to maringarden.org/give, get logged in. Tata Collins, $200. We appreciate you. Get logged in. We're going to come back in just a little while and check in on the Fund the Need, because I also know we want to make sure that we get to Diane before she has too many of those double Ds and has a good time. Vicky Abalo for $50. Thank you, Vicky. So I think what we do now is we'll take a little bit of a break from the Fund the Need. We'll come back and check the thermometer later, but it's been pretty amazing so far, hasn't it, Tom?
It sure has. This is just incredible. You know, as we said before, we're not simply here to raise money, but also to recognize a very special person in Diane Duda. In honor of this occasion, many people wanted to say a few words, and so I'd like to share some of those with you right now.
Hey Diane, Katie Rice here from the Board of Supervisors, here to wish you well in your send-off to retirement as you leave Magic, this incredibly special place in such incredible shape financially, botanically, and the human element as well. We want to thank you. I want to thank you on behalf of the entire county for everything you've done for this place and for this community and for all the people that are able to witness Marin Art and Garden Center, whether it's through an event or just wandering the gardens. This is a special place, and your work has ensured that it will remain so for generations to come. I have a certificate, a proclamation from the Board of Supervisors, and if it's okay, I'd love to read it to you right now. It says, this is a certificate of appreciation presented to Diane Duda, President of the Magic Board of Trustees, for her outstanding leadership and commitment to the Marin Art and Garden Center, where generations have celebrated life events, attended concerts and plays, and built strong memories and connections. We specifically thank her and appreciate her for her key role in bringing financial sustainability to the center, so that our children and our children's children can appreciate the magic here as well. Diane, you've done amazing things throughout your career of service to the community in so many ways, but your role here has special meaning and is quite a legacy. So thank you, happy retirement, enjoy the years to come, and we look forward to seeing what you do next. Adios.
Hi, I'm Mary Poland.
Hi, Bill Poland.
Diane, I just want to tell you, we are so honored to be here to celebrate you and all the incredible work that you've done here at the Marin Art and Garden Center. I've known you for maybe close to 40 years, and I feel like we've grown up together. I just know you as a superstar, and I know how hard you worked, your enthusiasm, and what you've accomplished here is, close to miracle work. And we are so extraordinarily grateful to you.
She should be a management consultant. She's intelligent, determined like crazy, but determination to make something happen is her strong suit. And boy, did she ever do that here.
It's just gorgeous. It's the jewel in the crown for our community and for Marin County and beyond. And I just am so thrilled that Diane and Frank have been a part of our community and the gifts that they have given to us. And I love you, Diane. Congratulations again. You're fabulous, and you can always call on us.
My name is Andrea Schultz. Boy, Diane, I was so excited when we were both in 2010, and I met you as one of the remaining 3 board members from the Foundation Board for Marin General. The 3 that stuck with the hospital and was going to be there when the change came. And I had so much admiration for you. I had heard some about you. And then you came into the room, into my conference room, and you had this great smile. And I said, now that's someone I'm going to get along with really well. And I can only say thank you for all the support you've given through the hospital through your whole term, always being there to volunteer. It's meant so much. And I remember when you took up the flag for Marin Art and Garden Center, they needed leadership. It was kind of becoming a lost organization. Didn't have someone who took charge, and you stepped in there. And I can only say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know you had lots of support from lots of community members, but it takes a leader to bring everyone together, to inspire, bring the spirit forward, and really make it work. And so, Diane, thank you so much for all you have done for our community. And I know I'm not alone in that one. Thank you.
My name's Jordan Levinsky, and I live in Kentfield. I've been on the Magic board for about 6 years, I believe, and that's when I really got to know Diane. Diane, you are an amazing, amazing person. My time on the board has been, really an incredible experience because of you, in large part. Diane, you're a really inspiring person. You're so passionate about magic. You're an incredible leader. I love how inclusive you are of everybody. You're a dreamer. And I say that not in a derogatory sense. I say that in really a complimentary sense. And you have great dreams. You have great dreams for the center. And you seem to really achieve kind of those dreams. You make them come true. And in that sense, you are magic. There have been many times when I've thought, wow, really? Can that happen? But you do. You make it happen with your passion. You make it happen with your persistence, your leadership, your inclusiveness, bringing everybody kind of into the fold. And I think you inspire people to work as hard as you work. I'll really miss our times off campus when we would, you would have a glass of wine, I would have a Manhattan, and we'd talk about your vision of magic. Things that we could do, thinking big, and we would just talk about life, and I love that. I consider you to be a really great friend, and I cherish that I've had the opportunity to be with you as a board member of Magic, and I look forward to our relationship continuing in the future. So thank you.
Hello, my name is Frank Duda, and the first time I saw Diane Duda, she was Diane Church, and she was 12 years old. I was somewhat older at the time, and we definitely traveled in different circles, but what I noticed about her was her incredible smile. It lit up her face and made people feel that she was genuinely interested in them. After a lifetime of watching that smile, I know that my first impression was really spot on. As many of you know, Diane has dedicated the last 12 years of her life ensuring that the residents of Marin County will continue to enjoy the treasure that is Marin Art and Garden Center. How does she do it? Well, to start with, magic is not Diane's first rodeo, or second, or even her 10th. For her entire married life, and even before that, she'd been providing expertise and leadership to nonprofit organizations. So when she said she was taking on the presidency of Magic, an organization that was teetering on insolvency, I said to myself, well, here we go again. And ever since, I have been sort of the equivalent of a bachelor. I watched her do all this through many trials and tribulations. The death of a mother, my oldest son, her father, who at 98 came to live with us after the Sonoma fires, and my own serious illnesses that had me in the hospital for weeks and immovable at home in bed for many months and twice under hospice care with the recovery that's still going on. She had to take on the management of me, my recovery, as well as our complex household, while continuing to offer support for our extended family. And when the medical professionals said to her that I would not live, she decided differently. So here I am watching her smile again. Magic has been a focus for the last 12 years. I'm so appreciative of the deserved recognition she's receiving today. Diane is incredible and fabulous, and her smile still radiant, as Magic has such a terrific executive director and board. I thank you.
Here's to you, Diane.
Here's to you, Diane.
Here's to you, Diane.
Here's to you, Diane.
Diane, here's to you.
Here's to you, Diane.
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 Here's to you, Diane. Here's to you, Diane.
Here's to you, Diane.
Here's to you, Diane.
Diane, here's to you.
What wonderful tributes we have heard. Thank you all for contributing to this special evening. You know, 75 years ago, a group of visionary Marin women, led by Caroline Livermore, joined efforts to save our property from development. And so was born the Marin Art and Garden Center. Over the years, countless people have given their time, energy, and financial support to sustain the center through its many incarnations of benefit to our community. Now, as you've heard, 14 years ago, the Marin Art and Garden Center was facing perilous times, and it was not clear whether it would survive intact. It was then that Diane Duda came forward to guide the center through its troubles, first by serving as acting executive director. And along with the help of the equally dedicated Nanette Landere as co-director, Diane was able to put the Marin Art and Garden Center on its path to success and stability. Soon, Diane, as board president, was able to orchestrate the hiring of a permanent executive director, Antonia Adesio, and the growth and expansion of Magic's programs was assured. And so we, the current members of the Board of Trustees, wanted to take the occasion of our 75th anniversary to properly recognize and honor what Diane has meant to our enterprise. For more than a decade now, she has led the board with vision, tenacity, and energetic dedication. It's no small thing to say that were it not for Diane's presence, we would not all be gathered here tonight in celebration. I truly believe that Diane Duda is the most significant person in the history of the Marin Art and Garden Center since Caroline Livermore. We owe her much, and we thank her sincerely for what she has given all of us. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce the guest of honor tonight, Diane Duda.
Thank you for your kind words, Tom. And thank you to all of you who have spoken tonight. Your words made me smile, and they brought tears to my eyes. Thank you for taking time out of your very busy lives to participate in this tribute. You are all very, very special to me. I hope that those of you who are watching at home are enjoying a glass of your favorite beverage, eating a wonderful harvest dinner, and imagining an evening under twinkle lights amid the flowers and the trees of the Marin Art and Garden Center. Greg asked me at the beginning of the program what was special about the Marin Art and Garden Center, and it's simple. It is a treasure that has recently been nominated to the National Register of Historic Places. If we are accepted, we will be listed on the National Register of Historic Places, making us wait for it, a national treasure. And if we flash back 75 years ago, we can see some parallels to today. At that time, our country was emerging from a devastating war. And right at this moment, the Marin Art and Garden Center proudly opened its gates. It was ready for the public, and the public was ready for it. The center offered just what the community needed. It offered art and music and theater and dance, a place to gather for a fair or a place to build community. People came then, as they do now, to these 11 acres to celebrate. If you stroll through the gardens today, you will feel 75 years of joy. Over the years, the Marin Art and Garden Center was home to garden groups and architects and landscape designers, environmentalists, educators, historians, and that county fair. A small army of dedicated volunteers offered the community teas and fashion extravaganzas, along with an antique store that was the toast of the county. There was a play-based education program for children, and it evolved into the wonderful Pixie Park. As we moved on, landscape architects continued to design and historic trees continued to grow. Then came a few bumps. The center received devastating financial hits that started with a little underfunding for the Livermore Pavilion in the 90s and was followed by the tech crash, remember that one, of 2001, and the Great Recession of 2008 and 9. The center had begun to falter by the time the board of directors took over its operation in 2012, and it was clear that the center had to change. The price of failure would mean the end of the Marin Art and Garden Center and possible development of these 11 acres that Caroline had worked so hard to preserve. Ever the eternal optimist, I believe that we could effect a turnaround in about 18 months. Our goals were simply clear: stabilize the organization financially, build a sustainable operating model, transition into a modern governing and fundraising board with a nationally recognized leader at our helm. We could do that. It took 3 years of 7-day weeks and no vacations. But what kept me going were the people I was working with. No leader ever operates in a vacuum, and I had a dedicated group of individuals who recognized the value of the center and came on as a working board. Some of them have already spoken tonight. I was not aware of these tributes, so I may say a few things that they have already said, but I want to say them. I was president, and I partnered with our board secretary, Nanette Landre. We worked side by side as the center's volunteer executive director and volunteer director of operations. We were a true team, and by the end of 3 years, we could finish each other's sentences and were having the same dreams, and when things got really scary, the same nightmares. The center became a viable operation. Ed Lewis, our vice president, took on the operations of the physical plant, and I will never forget the night that he was on the roof of the Livermore Pavilion during a thunderstorm, clearing the gutters so that the roof wouldn't leak. I don't think his wife Margaret will ever forget that either. Stacy Kemp, who was then a board member, took on the management of special events. She turned a money loser into a net positive income stream. And eventually we all realized she was too valuable to remain a volunteer. And as soon as we had the funds to hire her, she resigned from the board and became a full-time staff member. She is also a brilliant designer of cocktails. Thank you, Stacy, for the double D. Jessica Fairchild was ever a voice of wisdom, and she took charge of designing ways to make the center beautiful when there was no money to pay for anything. Because of her work, community members started to comment on the positive changes in the center's appearance. Those comments were very welcome. Jordan Levitsky, our legal advisor, was the voice of reason. The center had many historic stakeholders, and Jordan was instrumental in aligning our bylaws with our stepped up when
I told you live.
Okay, we're having some wonderful clips, which are all part of living in COVID. Anyway, Robin made sure that I lost my step here, Erin. Robin worked with Nanette to sort through and restructure our center's financials. That was a lot harder than it sounds because the center's financial systems were outdated and extraordinarily cumbersome. It took a long time just to check on a check. When something needed fixing, Robin had a chart for us. He was brilliant. As we became stable and sustainable, Annie Evans came on board and agreed to head up development at a time when our donor base was exceedingly small. His determination, and we have all been on the receiving end of Andy's determination, developed a growing donor base, which we all know is the lifeblood of a 501c3. Alex Ross from Ross Valley Players stayed on too, and he knew the inner workings of the center's grounds and buildings. Given the fact that records were scarce, it was hard to find where a drain was, even though it was leaking. His knowledge was invaluable, and he worked with Ed Lewis on sorting out the buildings and was always on call. Slowly, we were able to add part-time staff like Robert Mooney and Ken Cottrell, who were our garden and building geniuses and created their own man cave to get away from all the females. Our staff worked hard and for small compensation, and we're dedicated to preserving the Marin Art and Garden Center for the Marin community. They would do anything, do it well, and do it on a minimum budget. And the community began to get interested. People commented on the changes that were paying attention in new ways. They also loved our free summer concerts, and we even had as many as 500 people show up. Then came our long-awaited day. On October in 2015, we were so ready. We had made it. We did a search, and to our good fortune, the Marin Art and Garden Center was able to hire Antonia Adezio, who came to us from the National Garden Conservancy. And though she may not have fully realized just what she was getting into when she agreed to become our executive director, she stepped up brilliantly and continues to lead us toward the center we want to be. How does she do that? She does it with patience and fortitude and maybe yoga. Because of her leadership, our gardens have never looked better and are constantly evolving. Our art program is growing, and so is our newly designed studio. The shop at Marin Art and Garden Center is open, online for now and in person as soon as permitted. Leaders in the field of landscape design are once again interested in us, and we have a master plan worthy of our founders and perfect for the 21st century. It gives homage to our past and lays the foundation for our future. We have a new brand that reflects our new direction. And thank you, Ned Purdom, for all of your leadership in this area. We have grown our board to reflect the needs of our community, and we will continue to develop it as we progress. Prior to the pandemic, we were positioned for growth, and then enter a spiky little virus with a terrible mission. How have we stepped up to the challenge? The way we always do, thoughtfully, intentionally, and diligently. The board and staff have stepped up to the challenge, but the staff have been hardest hit. Our major producing activities depend on people being able to gather. Just think about what those wonderful outdoor concerts meant to people of all ages. Our receptions, our events like the annual Harvest Dinner, all of those, of course, have not been able to take place. And the weddings and celebrations of life cannot happen until people can once again gather. Even so, the center of today was able to pivot, make cuts where necessary, and get out in front of the PPP and the SBA loan programs. Our wonderful staff have thrown job descriptions out the window, rolled up their sleeves, and in addition to their regular assignments, they have worked in the gardens, painted our new shop, and share in whatever needs to be done at the moment. My deepest appreciation to Antonia and Stacy and Molly and Katie and David and Stephen and Ken. You are truly amazing. I marvel at you every day, and I have watched you grow into an amazing unit. So here we are, September 9th, 2020, which just also happens to be my son's birthday. Even though we are experiencing a tongue-tying worldwide pandemic, the likes of which none of us has experienced in our lifetimes, the Marin Art and Garden Center is still bringing us together, virtually and in the gardens. We have kept our gates open so that the public has a place to gather in pods or as individuals and celebrate what matters most to all of us, our family and our friends. In the midst of this pandemic, one might say, why should I support the Marin Art and Garden Center? There's so much need out there. There are so many in need. The answer is because the Marin Art and Garden Center is exactly what we need right now. We are what we have always been, a place for people to gather, to celebrate, to learn, to grow, to experience art, theater, music, and dance, to bring our children and to watch with joy as they observe that lizard in the sun or that beautiful flower in the gardens, or gaze at a dawn redwood tree, or play at Pixie Park, or maybe even dance with their parents at a free concert. We are resilient, adaptable, and ready to listen to the needs of our community. We have programs for all ages, and we are turning our attention to making our offerings more accessible to the entire Marin community. We are definitely worthy of your support. As this will be my final year on the board, I am proud of what has been accomplished during my tenure, and I am proud to be turning the leadership over to Tom Perry. He is a part of the center, both through his work and his family. It's been an honor and a pleasure to work with him. And I welcome all of our board members, our newer board members like Robert Beadle and Ned Purdom and now Bob Meyer, and Pam Scott for all of the joy that she brings in all of the little ways that she helps and the big ways that she helps. Our board of trustees, which has both long-term and new members, is strong and dedicated. They're whip smart, and they will see us through, and our ongoing growth is safe in their hands. My work is done. I've accomplished my goals, and now it is my pleasure to step aside and watch the vision evolve. I want to say a special thank you to my husband, Frank, my son, Chris, and my friends who have been my support system through this journey. I am fortunate to have all of you in my life. Huey, I miss you. You were a delightful neighbor, and Christmas songs on Christmas Eve rose to a whole new level when you lived next door. At this moment, Chris and Frank and I are at the home of my special friends, Katie and Rich Horkhorn, who have gathered together my friends Mary and Bill Poland and our new friends and Ross neighbors, Chris and Lena Larson, so that we could have an in-person celebration, properly distanced, of course, sort of. Thank you to everyone who has worked to put together this lovely event, and thank you to our sponsors and our donors. And please, everyone, support the Marin Art and Garden Center. It is an irreplaceable treasure. Thank you.
Diane, you're our treasurer. It's been my pleasure to be able to join you for this celebration tonight, the celebration of the Marin Art and Garden Center and the celebration of you And I wanted to bring Tom and the thermometer back because we've had an incredible outpouring of support. And I wanted to take this opportunity to make sure that everyone who made a pledge gets recognized on our stream tonight, because there have been a lot of people that have made pledges. And Tom, I got the screen up now. Robert P. McNaughton pledged $1,000. Bob and Robin Mayer pledged $1,000. Ellen A. Perdom pledged $1,000. Brian and Susie Solomon and Aaron Earls each pledged $250. Janet O'Connor is in for $100. Jessica Fairchild and Kai Brahms, Lisa C. Doran and Jane Sullivan each pledged $250. And then we jump up to where it starts to get really interesting. Emily Parento's in for $500. Leslie Miller's in for $20. Lisa and Wendell Nicholas were in for $50. And Misty Gibbs pledged $100. Nina and John Gladish pledged $500. Pamela Scott pledged $4,000. Patricia Griffith pledged $100. Robin Perrer pledged $100. Patricia and Charles Raven pledged $1,000. Lisa Lynn Nicholas pledged $500. Gary and Janet Scales pledged $5,000. Katie and Richard Hortcorn pledged $5,000. Mary and Bill Poland pledged $5,000. Michael and Dudley Del Balso pledged $5,000. Sissy and Bert Domner pledged $5,000. Tom and Jan Perry pledged $5,000. That sounds like a lot of people that are going to be on the board with you, eh, Tom?
You know, you get the sense from all the emotion that's been expressed tonight, how deeply people who are involved with the Marin Art and Garden Center care about it. There's nobody that participates that doesn't have some deep connection that is very emotional and very significant. And I hope you got a sense from hearing the wonderful comments about Diane and her lovely remarks herself, that you get a sense of why she has been so special to the Art and Garden Center for so many years. And this astounding outpouring of generosity tonight is real affirmation to the hard work and dedication of our staff and our volunteers and the board of trustees and everybody that's involved. It really is a community effort. We feel that it's a family, and we're so grateful that you could all be with us tonight and express your support. Thanks very much.
Absolutely. Ned and Ellen Perdome pledged $5,000. Shinology Car Wash, you're not doing enough already, pledged $5,000. Frank and Barbara Green pledged $2,500. We have a whole slew of thousands. Oh, Chris Larson and Lena Lamb pledged $5,000. And then listen to this list of $1,000. Bank of Marin, $1,000. KCM Investment Advisors, $1,000. Ross Historical Society and Moya Library, $1,000. Suzanne and Robert Mellor, $1,000. Robert Beadle and Maria Pitcairn, $1,000. Pat and Frankie Hunt, $1,000. Margie Ellis, $1,000. Kimberly Ann Nunes, $1,000. Katie and Claude Jarman, $1,000. Casey and Steve Lauk, $1,000. Julie McMillan and Timothy Bowman, $1,000. Elika Rosenbaum, $1,000. Deborah Matthews, $1,000. Kareen Hedrick, $1,000. And Patricia and Charles Raven all in for $1,000. What an incredible outpouring of support. We appreciate all of you. And here's the thing. If you're watching a recording of this right now, you're not watching it live, you can still make a difference for the Marin Art and Garden Center. Go to maringarden.org/give. You can make a gift. You see the URL at the bottom of the screen, maringarden.org/give, and you can make a pledge. That's open. That's open as long as the Marin Art and Garden Center is going to be open. You can all make pledges at that at any point in time. We appreciate all of you who have joined us this evening. Tom, any last words you want to say for everybody? You gave us a great send-off, but I always never want to own everything all the way to the end. We thank and appreciate each and every one of you for joining us this evening. Congratulations again to Diane and her wonderful family. And Tom, any last words before we send it out?
Just expression of gratitude for all of your generosity. I just got an email from Antonia. She says the staff is back in the office, standing on their chairs and cheering. So we're so moved by your generosity. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a wonderful evening, and congratulations and thanks to Diane.
Absolutely. And for all of you who joined us this evening, wherever you go, when you get there, please remember to use your powers for good. Thank you and good night.